Hi everyone, Forthany Get Tano here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a review of the new Everything Everything album, Re-Animator. This is a new full-length album from UK progressive and art pop outfit Everything Everything, who dropped one of my favorite pop and rock albums of the 2010s back in 2015, Get to Heaven. That record is such a jubilee of soaring hooks and fantastically mathematical instrumental passages. Few records of that decade were as infectious and intricate at the same time. The sound Everything Everything portrayed on this album was something I hoped they would dive even further into on their future releases. But the following A Fever Dream in 2017 saw them mostly streamlining their sound, foregoing the bustling layers of guitars and drums, the unique grooves, in favor of something a lot moodier and more stripped back, which in my opinion was an oversimplification because the band lost a lot of what made them so special in the process of that change. So I didn't really know what to expect from this new album. Would the band continue down this road and hopefully dig up something new and interesting in the process? Go back to something more progressive or something else entirely? I was also disheartened by just how split I felt on the singles to this record too. The track In Birdsong is nearly unlistenable in just how deafeningly compressed and distorted it is. It's the opposite of the blissful wall of synths and vocals and guitar I think the band was going for. Then Arch Enemy has this forced funkiness to it that I just don't think goes over well. Planets I came to enjoy, but it didn't wow me at first, and I still feel like it's an odd choice for a single, not just because tracks such as the opener are much catchier, but it is a real slow burner thanks to its slow pacing and angular, darting lead melodies on the hook which aren't necessarily going to come off sweet. The thing sounds great in the context of the record, but it's a hard introduction to swallow. Then there's Violent Sun, which is another song I came to enjoy as I heard it more, but it was still really odd hearing the band attempt this driving beat and these layered synths that seemed reminiscent of the new wave era. The instrumental sounds like a futuristic version of something the Killers would record in the 2000s, but still, it's easily one of the best songs here with a smashing hook, and the way the band fluidly transitions into that eerie guitar arpeggio passage on the bridge is woo! So yeah, while I was split on the teasers to this record, what's even more perplexing are some of the deep cuts, where the band goes even further to jettison their original sound in order to sound like Radiohead. Yeah, just sound like Radiohead. With Moonlight as well as It Was a Monstering, not only do the instrumentals on these tracks sound like a dead ringer for something on Hail or Rainbows, but frontman Jonathan Higgins also alters his yelpy voice into more of a low-key, moody croon just to kind of grab that Tom Yorkian vibe. The tracks aren't awful to listen to, but they're so derivative it's distracting. Digging deeper into the tracks on this thing, I guess the band continues to find a balance between simplifying their sound, making it catchier, while also including some experimental and progressive elements. And you could say they're getting better at it, maybe. There's Lost Powers, which I think is a super sharp start to this LP. Twinkling guitar lines, sweet, easygoing chords, a driving drum beat. Honestly, before Jonathan's vocal comes in, one could presume this is the start to like some Midwestern emo jam. Come on, you only lost your mind! Between that hook, the guitar riffs, the subtle glitches, as well as the psychedelic guitar bridge, this track is a perfect balance between Everything's more experimental side and something more palatable to a general audience. The following Big Climb is similarly hooky, accessible, and grand in presentation. Meanwhile, Lord of the Trapdoor I thought was just okay. Almost sounds like a bleak leftover from their last LP. Black Hyena does pick things up though with its booming, crisp drums, buzzing pre-chorus. I can only describe the chorus on this track as being a morbid, haunting, futuristic piece of progressive pop, with the lyrics being very dark and quite bloodied, dead things in them. You know, it sounds like the literal end of the world has released a new single. So there is some surprisingly great material here, which I loved. It was a nice change of pace from the generally average stuff on Everything's last LP, but some of their worst ideas to date also turn up on this thing. Namely, the actor, the onslaught of reversed vocals and tones throughout the track just distracts from it more than it adds, not to mention it's totally annoying. Outside of that, I'm not sure if I have much more to say about this LP other than it's got highlights, sure, but it's also incredibly inconsistent in terms of the quality of songs or what they're going for. Yeah, it's just a little all over the place, which, I mean, I'm happy to see them experimenting a bit more and just finding new great songs in the process. I mean, that's certainly more refreshing than the lack of risks overall on their last LP. But I don't know, I would just love to be in a place where everything is just dropping banger after banger after banger on a new record, and hopefully, fingers crossed, that's the case the next time around. Feeling a light to decent 6 on this one. Transition. Have you given this album a listen? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? You're the best, you're the best. What should I review next? Hit the like if you like. Please subscribe and please don't die. Hit the bell as well. Over here next to my head is another video you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Again, yeah, do that. Anthony Fantano. Everything, forever.